Hi there guys and welcome back for another match preview with myself, the Peaky Pundit, as we look forward to Manchester United entertaining Leicester City at Old Trafford on Saturday the 14th of September. It's a 3 p.m. kickoff and it is the first game back after the international break and United will be very, very keen to bounce back and hopefully get a win under their belts. In today's match preview, I'm going to be giving you a form guide, results from previous meetings, predicted starting 11s, also looking at key players and potential tactics that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may deploy for this weekend's game, and also a few facts for thoughts before giving you my prediction of the scoreline. Right, before jumping into today's video, a big shout out to the partners of the channel, Duck and Cover, who are bringing this match preview to you. Check out the project range that they've just launched in the description of this video for all of your lightweight jackets, your tees, your hoodies. You've seen us guys rocking their gear on camera. Make sure you go and check it out. Some absolutely great pieces on their website that they've just brought out, so go and check them out for sure. As mentioned, United need to bounce back then with a victory after a bit of an inconsistent start to the season. Obviously, we drew our last game before the international break in a frustrating afternoon at St Mary's as we drew 1-1 with Southampton. Previous to that, we lost at home to Crystal Palace in a bit of a shock defeat and also drew away to Wolves. And the only victory that we have recorded was on the opening game of the season, 4-0 at home to Chelsea, which seems like a distant memory so far. Leicester have played very, very well. They're in a good run of form. They've won their last two and drawing the previous two before that. So they come into this game, I would say, brimming with confidence. Brendan Rodgers certainly has got them playing in a very, very positive way, I would say. They seem to be gelling. There was question marks whether they would lose some of that security at the back when Harry Maguire signed for Manchester United. But so far, so good, I should say. Sorry, for Leicester. But look, United need to bounce back. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer may have welcomed the international break, especially after that frustrating afternoon at St Mary's, and it's given him and his backroom staff an opportunity to maybe work on a few things tactically and, you know, how we're going to approach this game. Looking at the previous meetings between the two clubs last season, United played Leicester on the 10th of August at Old Trafford, which we won 2-1. Goals from Pogba, a penalty, and Luke Shaw that day for United, one in reply from Vardy. Then we went to the the King Power Stadium, should I say, on the 3rd of February, and United won 1-0, a goal courtesy of Marcus Rashford. But looking at last season, obviously doing the double over them to this season, a lot has changed. A new manager coming in at Leicester under Brendan Rodgers has certainly got them playing, and Vardy is back in and amongst the goals. Before I get into my predicted starting 11 for this weekend, I just want to touch on some players who could potentially be out. We know Luke Shaw is a major doubt and probably almost certainly out for this weekend's fixture. They think he may return at the end of the month when we entertain Arsenal at Old Trafford on the 30th of September. Martial, unfortunately, still remains a major doubt for this fixture, so it's highly unlikely we're going to see him feature. Hopefully, Aaron Wan-Bissaka will be in after suffering a slight back niggling injury, which saw him withdrawn from his first international call-up with the England senior side. Jesse Lingard as well should be returning after being sent home from the England camp with a illness. Hopefully, he's recovered as well. And Pogba, I know he missed out again with the France call-up, or he was withdrawn from the squad, but I think that was more of a precaution on his ankle injury. We saw him kind of hobbling away from St Mary's in some footage that was online as well, but I think the kind of rest would have done him good, and he should be returning. Diego Dallo is the only other one who's probably not going to feature again after having surgery as well in the summer. So looking forward to what I believe my predicted start in 11 will be. Obviously, I've gone for David De Gea in the sticks. Keeps his place, obviously picks himself. I do think we will see Aaron Wan-Bissaka returning to United's lineup at right back. Ashley Young, I think, will go in at left back, and to be fair to him, he's done relatively well since stepping in for Luke Shaw as well. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be sticking with Victor Lindelof at the heart of defence to partner Harry Harry Maguire. And we know Lindelof has come under a little bit of criticism, especially again after the Southampton game where he was out-jumped. Previous to that, the Crystal Palace game, he was criticised for losing out on a header which led to the goal as well for Crystal Palace. But I think Ollie's going to be prepared to give that centre-back pairing time to gel together. I'm sure he would have had a word with Lindelof, really saying, look, I'm going to put my faith in you, but you really need to step up. And I think Lindelof is a bit of a confidence player. I think, if the gaffer was to drop him and get on his back, I think it would kind of really, hamper his confidence and maybe make his game suffer even more than it may have been in the last couple of games. So there's my back four. I think Pogba stays with McTominay in that holding role. I would love to see Pogba play a bit higher up the pitch. The only reason I think maybe Ole Gunnar Solskjaer isn't playing him in that number 10 role is because he wants to play with a high press. Lots of energy, lots of pace, and maybe he looks at Pogba and believes he's not going to be able to give him that energy in that number 10 role, say someone like what Jesse Lingard does offer. That's the only reason I can see Pogba sitting deeper and playing in that 2 with McTominay. Just ahead of them two, I think it would be Jesse Lingard reintroduced into the starting 11. We know he didn't start against Southampton, but I think Ollie's going to be looking for energy and that high press at home and getting in and amongst Leicester's faces in these opening 15-20 minutes. So I think Lingard starts just in front of the middle two, Pogba and McTominay, and then the front three, I've gone for Mata as a number 9, a false number 9. I think he's going to be playing through the middle, but dropping deeper to get on the ball and make things happen for the really willing runners, should I say, in James out on the right and Rashi out on the left. And then I won't be surprised if you see kind of Lingard and Mata kind of switching roles a little bit, where Mata kind of drops a little bit deeper, almost to that number 10 role, allowing the front three to have a bit of interchanging in positions, but Lingard, Rashford and James then being the willing runners to run beyond, in and behind Leicester's defence and hopefully create some opportunities. The reason I think Mata starts is I think we will see the majority of the ball at home against Leicester. We saw it against Palace where we couldn't really break them down. Could Mata be the key to unlocking somebody's defence like Leicester if they are going to come and shut up shop? So let's see how that pans out. If you guys have got any comments on what your starting 11 would be, or any criticisms or positives I've just spoke about in my starting 11, jump into the comments section, and we always do come to your comments and reply to you guys as the channel is all about your opinions just as much as it is mine and anybody else who is in front of the camera as well. So look, there's my predicted starting 11. I want to kind of touch a little bit more on the tactics and key players. Daniel James, he started life pretty well at United, let's be honest, in a team that's not performing very well. He's made the step up from the Championship into the Premier League. And to be fair, he's been a player who we're now, I think, relying on. So a player who we thought, would he make it? How would he fit in? How would he start life at United? He's our top scorer with 3 goals. Again, a very good, positive individual performance from himself against Southampton. He scored a cracking goal. But the thing I liked about him and his play was his positivity. He was taking men on. He was getting to that byline. And he put in 2 or 3 fantastic balls towards the end of that game that just flashed across the 6-yard box, where if you had an old traditional number 9, or even if Martial started, to be fair, that instinct, that goal scorer's instinct, may have seen a player getting on the end of it. But look, we seem to be quite reliant on him at the moment in terms of goals and attacking threat. So a big shout out to Daniel James and the way he started his Manchester United career. Marcus Rashford, a player who I think will have been feeling a little bit of pressure, was dropped from the England starting 11 against Kosovo on Tuesday at St Mary's. He had a very poor game, in my opinion, against Southampton. Just never really got into it. Looked a bit disinterested. Just really wasn't kind of going for him. And I think he just had an off day, to be honest. But he certainly can't afford to continue having these off days, especially with the new contract he's on. The pressure that is now on him as being a senior player, really, in this first team of United and leading the line, especially when Anthony Martial's out injured. We really need him to bounce back and lead the line or lead that attack, whether it is from a wider left position, which I think, by the way, suits Marcus Rashford more than playing playing straight through the middle. I think he likes to get on the ball a bit deeper, which he can do that from a wide left position, and really get at a player and attack a player. So I think it might suit him if he does drift out and he is asked to play a bit wider on Saturday. Looking at Leicester's key men, we know Jamie Vardy, their top scorer with 3 goals so far this season, and Brendan Rodgers certainly has him playing again. It looks as though we're seeing that old Jamie Vardy back. The sort of player we saw who was scoring goals for fun, especially in that title-winning season for Leicester. Last season, his confidence suffered. I think he was asked to play in a role that he wasn't too familiar with. It didn't really suit his game, as we know he likes to run in behind and stretch defenders. He likes to get in 1v1 positions, which might be interesting this weekend, as he's going to be up against Harry Maguire, his old teammate, and we know they're good friends off the pitch as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if he goes and tries to play on Harry Maguire as much as possible, trying to hurt him with that devastating pace that he has got. Other sort of players for Leicester to look out for, you got Tielemans in the middle of the park, who I think any top 6 club potentially would have liked to have signed, or I think he could definitely play in any of the top 6 sides. So he's going to be a player to look out for. Chilwell and Didi, Perez, but the main one for me, Perez, by the way, if he is fit, because he might be a doubt with an injury. But the main player for me is Maddison. For me, United, he's a player we should have gone to sign this summer. I think he has everything. He's a young British player. He likes to link up play, and he finds some fantastic positions on the pitch, if you like, finds nice pockets of space, really makes things happen. Last season he was a little bit underrated, but I think as the season progressed and we didn't just see it as a 1 or 2 game phase, consistently he was making things happen. He's a young, exciting prospect, and I think he links up very, very well with Jamie Vardy. So I think if we stop him playing, I think, to be honest, we kind of, we do kind of put a bit of a restriction on Leicester's attacking options. I do expect Scott McTominay to be given a bit of a role on Saturday, to go and not do a man-marking job, but just be very, very cautious and stay very close, if you like, for parts of the game to Maddison. Because I do think he can hurt United, especially if he picks that ball up kind of on the halfway line or midway in our half and is given space. He has got the ability to make things happen, to pick a pass, to go beyond a man and really make things happen. So he's going to be a player United are going to have to watch, and that's for sure. I spoke about it a little bit earlier on in this video about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the backroom staff being able to tactically look at this game, and also overall United's tactics, which haven't been too clever in my opinion. We've not really changed things when they've needed to be changed in games. We've not done it early enough. So let's see if United come with a different approach to this game. We never know. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer might have been fed up with the performance at Southampton, had time to reflect on it during the international break, and deciding to switch things up completely and introduce maybe youngsters like Greenwood. But I'm not sure if he's brave enough to make them kind of decisions, or bold enough to make them sort of decisions at the moment. I think he wants to try and keep the core of this team kind of consistent as weeks go on, whether it's a bad performance or not at the moment. I just think he wants to get the core playing as much as they can together. We've got a good run of games now throughout September where I'm sure the youth will be introduced. But look, I think we will dominate in possession this weekend. I think Leicester will have spells within the game, but I think they'll be looking to play more on the counter-attack. With that pace of Vardy, I think they know they've got an outlet there where if they do pick up the ball deep, a kind of big 30, 40-yard ball pumped up field kind of almost moves them up the pitch pretty quickly. So I think United will dominate in possession, hence why I think Mata will be brought in to try and break down the Leicester City defence. Couple of facts for thoughts here for you guys. Manchester United winger Daniel James could become only the second Red Devils player to score in his first Premier League appearances at Old Trafford. And the player who holds that record currently is manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who did this back in September 1996. So James, I'm not sure if he's aware of this fact, but I'm sure he'll be keen to keep that run of form going, to get back on the score sheet. We saw him do it, during the internationals as well for Wales, so he'll be keen. Manchester United have lost 3 of their last 5 Premier League games at Old Trafford, winning 1, drawing 1, as many as they had lost in their previous 52 at at Old Trafford. With winning 32 of them, drawing 17 and losing 3. So look, pressure is definitely going to be on for United, who are definitely going to be looking to get back to winning ways. Leicester have won just one of their last 20 league games against Manchester United. They've drawn 4, lost 15, coming from behind to win 5-3 at home in September 2014. These sort of stats scare me now, because producer Pav pulled one out for the Crystal Palace game, and it was a wild stat, like they've never beaten United or something like that in the Premier League at Old Trafford, and it was kind of like the writing was on the wall, and inevitably they kind of went and beat us at Old Trafford. So take what you want from the facts. My prediction for this weekend: I'm confident we're going to bounce back. I think we have to bounce back, or pressure really does start to mount for Ollie and his players. The players will know that. The backroom staff and the manager will know that. So I'm going for a 2-1 United win. I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be routine. I think it is going to be pretty tricky, the game, to be honest. But I do see us running out 2-1 winners. And I can see Marcus Rashford and Daniel James again getting back on the score sheet. And I think that does a world of good for the confidence within the squad. Leicester are sitting pretty well in the league at the moment. So United, I think the victory against the team above them in the league currently will do them a bit of confidence and hopefully get us back on track, as we do enter a very, very busy September. Don't forget, we're going to be at the game this weekend, so stay tuned for all the fan cams. And we've got Mickey Thomas as well coming back on. We saw him go viral at the Southampton game. Don't forget as well, if you haven't already, guys, hit the subscribe button during this journey. We're almost at that 7K subscriber mark. Give this video a big thumbs up if you've enjoyed my preview. Don't forget, as always, jump into the comments section with your opinions, and we will respond to all of them if we can. Just before we do sign out, don't forget that this match preview was brought to you by good friends of the channel here at Duck and Cover. You can check out their amazing project range. The link is in the description of this video. Go and check it out. Go and get your hoodies in. Go and get your jackets in as we start to kick in and edge towards autumn and that chilly weather. So make sure you guys are well prepared. I've been the Peaky Pundit, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in for this week's match preview. Come on, United. Stay tuned for more content as we build up to the game.